Fuck you.
This is the tale of Elysian Fields, starring Eric Bana.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
This is what the comic is based on. There he
I
is,
hate
his
you.
hero. Look at him. So handsome. So brave. He's got a chariot over there. Oh, look. Is that Richard Harris? I know that guy.
Hey, don't forget Peter
I
O'Toole.
think he was in Gladiator. You, Achilles.
Probably.
I am Australian Hector.
Gods as our witnesses. Let us pledge that the winner will allow the loser all the
Enough talk. Now we fight. You son of a bitch. All right, enough of this. That is not your story.
No, it is not. You son of a bitch. Goodness gracious. I swear, man, it all comes back to that first show that I met you with Shay, man. That was it's funny because Luke went CG here a while ago, and I was talking to him and everything, and he mentioned that you were going on he was going on your show, and I just went, oh man, you're gonna have a fucking blast. Michael Bancroft. Michael Bancroft is a fucking hoot. And I told him that story. I was like, it's still a running gag between us. Whenever we're promoting each other's stuff, it always comes down to like us throwing in Achilles memes from fucking Troy.
I wonder if I still have that.
He
needs to get the rest.
Going to go find this. That's amazing.
That's obsession right there.
It's such a fun little gag. Like every single time I see him doing something, like if I get a chance to comment on it, I'll be sure to like, fuck you. It was so great because I didn't even notice that he had changed it. He had it changed to that fucking picture for like what, an hour?
Yeah.
It was about an hour, and then I looked over. I hadn't been talking for a bit, and I saw his fucking thing, and I went, wait, Michael, did you fucking change your, fuck you? Just noticed that?
You're obviously a huge fan of my movies and my portrayal of the great Achilles.
Look, when it came out, I was in middle school. And I loved it when I watched it in middle school because I was a stupid middle schooler, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And like even though they butchered my myth, it was the closest thing I got to the Iliad being up on screen. And so I loved it when I was a kid. And then when I got into like high school and college, and I was really going through the Iliad a lot more and looking into it, and then I start watching Troy, and I'm like, there is so much not right with this. There's a lot not right.
All right. Well, let's get back to serious business here. Okay.
Of course. Serious
Welcome.
business with Michael Bancroft.
No, my name is Brad Achilles Pitt, but welcome.
Oh shit, I missed that. Okay.
Michael Oden, creator of Elysian Fields. Is that how you pronounce it? Elysian? Or is it Elysian?
Elysian, yeah. You're all good, man.
All right, cool. And Blue, welcome to you as well, buddy.
Hello.
Always great to have you here. And we do have people in the chat. Skip Edwards is here. He says, how we going, fellas? I think we're going really well, especially after that intro.
Of course. How could you not?
Nine Realms Comics wonders if we will start on time, and the answer to that was no.
Not
well,
really.
almost. A couple of minutes.
I could try to cover for you by saying Michael and I were getting all chatty and preventing you from starting, but that's just a coincidence. You were late.
It was also me making that comment. So like,
hey, this stuff happens. Stefani Renee is in the house. Great to see you here, buddy. Black Rose Comics says, how y'all doing?
We're doing.
We're doing well. Todd's Truth is here. Mr. Struth, he's saying hello to some people. Great to see you here too, buddy. Look at all these people just saying hello to each other. I love to see it. Ooh, this is someone we've not seen before. We're like single new people out. Welcome. X Prain Vish. Is that Vicious? I'll just call you X. He says, "Hail, so great to see you here." Skip is apparently stuck in traffic, or maybe that was me. Antoine, how you going, mate? Great to see you here, as always. We're getting people who are disappointed in the late start. Yeah, all right. Things happen. Mo, okay. Oh, there it is. It was Mo saying, surprise, surprise, surprise. What does he say here? Now I know how Michael's daughter felt when he explained to her about furries. We didn't get into too much detail. He says, hello, Mr. Struth. Adega Outlaw. He says, good evening. Oh, we have a new gentleman arriving in a fashionable Alterna Comics hat. How you going, Joe?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
We're hanging in.
We're doing very well.
I am relieved that you are here, Joe. I don't have the intellectual capacity to carry this, so take it away, man.
It's been a train wreck already. Don't worry.
We started this shit off.
The wheels have fallen off the chariot, well and truly.
Michael talks really fast, and Brad Pitt is just Brad Pitt, so he needs the show carried by somebody, and I ain't got it tonight, man.
Okay. I hope I can help.
Paperback Art says hello. Here you go. Well, God, so many people. Great to see you all here. Oh, yeah. Kickback roll. Yes, I did self-kick myself in the first 5 minutes. That did happen. And, it may happen again. We'll see.
He had to go change his leather skirt. So.
Lord Fernacci. Yes, exactly. Those leather skirts. That seemed like really sweaty material in the Mediterranean heat.
Well, and that's the other thing is that, as you said, it's very sweaty material. I don't know if I would that's not very functional.
No, but good for jumping and leaping.
Ted's here. Awesome. Ted's good people.
Great.
Well, I'll be talking a little bit.
All good people.
While we're on.
All good people here in the chat.
I mean, that's fair. But Ted has done some stuff for us here with Elysian Fields. I'm really excited to talk about. So.
Excellent. And Thunderbuns is the only committed member of this hat group. Yes, I know. Look, Michael's wearing a hat. Where's my hat?
Yeah, I'm wearing a Captain America hat.
I would love to have a themed hat today, but they're just out of reach over there. Doing a little bit of cleaning in here.
You mean to tell me that you were willing to kick yourself out of the chat to put up a Brad Pitt Achilles thing, but you're not willing to walk 3 feet to go get a themed hat?
Well, it's not. The problem is it's not Elysian Fields themed, so it might be inappropriate. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Elysian Fields takes from all cultures,
all right,
Michael. So I guarantee you have something.
All right, while he's gone, what can we do?
Kick him
under the show.
Take over the show.
Fantastic. I dig it.
I'd wear my pirate hat, but like this, so it looks a bit like your Achilles, head.
Are you trying to do the horsehair? Yeah. You look like someone trying to look like Duke Wellington.
This is
doing it badly. They're like, this is a British officer's hat.
I don't know if this is going to get you any more sign-ups to your book, but you asked for it, so this is what you get.
Dude, I had such a blast when I came on the first time, and and as I said, I met Michael on one of Jay's shows, and ever since then, it's just been a fantastic friendship that has just been great.
It has been a lot of fun. Yeah, people like to get really serious and talk really writerly subjects and get in depth on Shay's show. And I found every time that I've gone on there, I just start derailing stuff. Yesterday we ended up talking about kangaroo scrotum or something like that. It just all falls apart.
I was gonna be on that show, and then we were about to start, and I heard my son crying, and so I went to go look into that, and he had a little bit of a fever, so I was like, yeah, I gotta go.
Kids will do that. Well, I hope your kid's okay. Hang on, I have another prop. One sec, I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just tell this without him. I think this is one of the reasons I feel a bond with Michael. Is he reminds me of a college friend I had who a whole bunch of people would get together and play these massive games like Axis and Allies. And I didn't, because it was just like, that's not a game to me. That's a lifestyle, and I can't do it. So, but he would get into these, or even just playing Risk. He'd get into these, and instead of trying to win, he would just mess up everybody else. It was him against everyone, and sometimes he won because of that. So.
That's a really good thing. That reminds me. So back when I was in high school, I was in this AP Euro class. And the big thing that our teacher did at the end of the year for that was his big thing was he did a game called Diplomacy, which is very similar to Risk and all the things like that, except it's less unit based and more of negotiation based. And so the rules of Diplomacy are that you are not bound by anything you say. The only thing that you are bound by are the orders that you turn in to the moderator at the beginning of each round.
Okay.
And so effectively, each day was a new set of turns. Mm-hmm. And what you would do is you'd spend the entire day going around and making negotiations and deals for unit movements and this, that, and the other, and backstabbing everybody on and all that, and making all these like shady backdoor deals. And then you would write down your moves and either hold to your agreements or fuck everyone over.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, I have no idea what you're talking about. Literally,
it's just a board game.
You remind me of my friend Jared. That when you go on the other streams, you just jack them up with random crap. That's how he played board games.
All right, let's get back on the track here. As interesting as this may be to you, Michael. People have come here to see men in weird hats. Well, you guys seem to be wearing pretty normal hats. I'm the one that's giving red gaze hemorrhoids, but that's all right. We have like you said, we have had you on before, Michael. So we do feel like we know you a little bit now. But just to remind some people, let's talk about your first book that you have, which is Elysian Fields Issue 0. And Blue and I have both read this now.
What do you guys think?
Well, you go first, Blue. You go first.
It was shorter than I expected. It finally gained momentum in what you could call the third act, and I was like, okay. And then it was just suddenly like, to be continued. I'm going, wait, but it's a 0 issue. It's not going to have a proper ending. 0 issues are whatever. So it's like, you got me. Now I have to. Is the next one going to be longer?
Yes. The next one is 54 pages.
Oh, okay. All right, we're good.
Excellent. I was going to say the same thing. It is definitely an issue 0. It's like an introduction to, the story essentially, and then it's like leading up to a big fight. There is a fight in here with this guy here. He unfortunately comes to a pretty
quick demise.
He's the king from Ethiopia, was it?
Yes, that would be King Memnon.
And you made me look things up. When we hit the gay scene, I was like, okay, I don't know about Achilles enough. We got to look into this.
Well, and that was something I tried to hit on it as much as I could during promotion, because I know that there's a big thing where in mainstream comics, people are shoving narratives down people's throats, and I wanted to make sure that when I did that scene, that it doesn't feel like that.
Right.
When I was writing that scene, the thing that I was trying to channel was, I remember what it was like coming home from a deployment and meeting up with my then significant other, and how that felt. Mm-hmm. Like to be away from someone you cared about for so long and to reunite with them, and all the feelings that stirred up. And so that's what I wanted to put forward predominantly. But like, I also wanted to make sure when I was talking about it on shows that I was like, this is going to happen, to get people ready for it. Because I didn't want it to just feel like it was there for shock value. I didn't want it to be shoved in your face. Because on top of that, like for me, I look at these things as these stories as products of their time. And so when it comes down to it, I honestly don't think that either Achilles or Patroclus would consider themselves to be anything. because the whole identity politics of sexuality is a rather modern concept, and back then you just kind of screwed who you screwed.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if they were put in this conversation today and they were asked about it, they just kind of blow everybody off and be like, well, you're stupid and we don't really care.
And it's not even necessarily a gay scene in your book. It's that I looked up their relationship, and there's what we would think of as like high school sophomore to eighth grader-ish mentor mentee in their training, where one dominates over the other, and that that's what I found. But what I was trying to emphasize to you was and I screwed up, was you made me look things up and learn something.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and that
also speaks a little bit about in the writing. It's like, there might be some things being presumed about these characters that would be better to know. They might need to be presented a little bit more.
Yes, and that is actively something that we're going to be doing, is because we had some people that were like they enjoyed the book, but they weren't as versed in the mythology and what have you, and so they felt a little lost at times. Mm-hmm. And so one of the immediate notes I took was, we're going to be having in the next book, we're going to also have a character glossary that kind of goes through on each of the characters that you see, gives you a little bit of a tidbit on them, what stories they come from, and everything like that. And if they have a larger part in the story, kind of go in a little bit on like where you might see their character going. So like a lot of the Team Hades guys, you have like a little bit about who they were in life, and then what's driving them in this tournament, like what is their deal. But like you'll have other people who they appear, but they appear shortly to get killed by somebody else. So you'll be like, yeah, these are who these guys are. This is what stories they're from. This is what from what region and everything like that. And so that way, I do that work for you.
Okay.
Even
in that scene, I was like, well, they're kissing, but that could just be how they greet. Who is this guy? And I had to look up Petrocles and see who the guy was. So what I'm curious about now is, if you're doing these little, let's say, half-page or full-page character glossary entries, are you going to have like their traits and power bar ratings on them? So strength, dexterity. Can we roll these?
I'm considering it, and if I don't do it on this next one, but we get like a lot of requests to do something like that, then I'll add it in. Like that's my whole thing, is that I'm constantly listening to my feedback.
Actually, I was kind of kidding about that.
No, but like
I really like the idea. I really like the idea of just having pages, for the different characters, so you can learn about the historical person that these people are actually based on.
Yeah,
because I know some of these people, but I didn't know all of them, and I would definitely that would have been something that I'd definitely be interested in reading.
Yeah,
but the power rating stuff with like strength and dexterity. No, I'm joking about that, man.
but like that's the thing, is that you're not the first person to ask about that sort of stuff, though.
Oh,
because there are people who would be interested in that, and if I get enough people who are like, yeah, I'd love to see like a character's stats, as far as like is this person when I look at this person, I think about them, and when I'm reading them in your book, like, are they the tank? Are they the brain? Are they the dex guy? Like what's their role? Or doing stuff like that is something that would be fun. But like at the end of the day, it's something that would be costly in both time and money to get done, because on the first book, I did all the credits pages and everything myself on Photoshop. I was brand new at it. I taught myself a lot, and as I said, I'm constantly learning from my feedback. And so one of the things was like, credits pages and everything didn't look bad, but they did look a bit amateur. And so I was like, okay, I mean, that's completely understandable. I had never used Photoshop before, and I taught myself as I was going. So this book, I have a graphic designer, and so like that's the whole thing, is that I'm always trying to push us to the next level with these books, and Pyramid Gambit is going to have so much stuff in it. As we said, this was a 0 issue, and that's how it was intended to be. It's an introduction. It gives you it literally is your setting. If you were to go through and like plot out your plot diagram for your story, this is the setting. This is like, you got your stage is set and everything, and it cuts off right at rising action. And that's where Pyramid Gambit picks up, is in that rising action. And that's where we'll be for a while, because this is a tournament book. And I'm not just going to hit you with a climax like, in my first issue. that would be rather disappointing. But like, we're here to stay, and it's really exciting. I had initially wanted to do kind of like a graphic novel for the second book and have it be massive, but the cost versus the returns on that was just silly, and I was being stupid. Yeah. But like, honestly, I'm glad for this, because, in the process of not only planning Pyramid Gambit, but the next book, which I have the title for, but I won't reveal that now, because Pyramid Gambit's where it's at right now. Mm-hmm. It's allowed me to really flesh out the things that I wanted to do with both of these parts of this round of the tournament, and really get a chance to not only showcase who Achilles is as a character in this, but who Heracles is as a character, who Theseus is as a character, and how they all interact with one another. And I think that by the end of Pyramid Gambit, you're going to start to see those relationships form. But as we move on, these characters grow, their dynamics grow. And they're growing even in different ways than I was expecting initially, because I had plans for certain characters that are now going in completely different directions.
I just wanted to show off. So that book that we just saw, that we've been talking about, the 0 issue, that's no longer in demand, is it?
Yes. No. We took that down.
It's all sold out.
We will have 30 of the holofoil on the next book. We have a little bit left, and then the 0 issue floppy in the black and white cut, I am making available for like purchase on demand, and that will be an add-on tier on the next campaign as well.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to show.
There will be
some things you posted on Twitter. So there it is, the book. People getting it in their hands. It is a strategy. This is an interesting strategy. I don't know if you did this on purpose. You can put out that 0 book. It's a quick book introduction. This is the style. This is what the story's going to be, and now it's out. You've delivered. That in and of itself is a huge thing. Yes. And I saw you actually delivering some copies by hand. Is that correct?
Yes. So what I ended up doing was, we had I had obviously like friends, family, coworkers, and everything, people that had bought the book that lived nearby. And I'm just like, why am I wasting money for postage for people that I can drive to? They could have it within the span of a day. And we had a whole bunch of other customers as well that were within like an hour drive from me, and that's not a big deal. So I just created I created a list of all of our local backers in the DMV area where I live. And, I created a map route, one going through Virginia, one going through Maryland. And just like 2-3 days I went around, I drove around, and I dropped the book off. It allowed for, a personal experience with the customers. Like there's me with Shay. I met up with her. She was one of the farther deliveries out, but again, it all, yeah.
Oh, neat. I thought she was computer generated.
Are you really tall? Because isn't she 6 foot something?
She is a mess. I'm 6'2", and she is I was not expecting that. She rolled up, and I was like, "Holy shit, you are tall."
If I ever get to meet her, I'll feel very diminutive. Yeah, but that's really cool. Talk about customer service.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, is that that's what this is about. We're here to make books not just because we love making books, but to provide escapism and to provide an experience for customers to appreciate. And I feel like that goes the extra mile. And that's one of the things that I value is I wouldn't be here without these people.
If you can do it,
Yeah.
do it, absolutely. If that's a possibility, you're not going to get that sort of service from the mainstream, right, Joe?
No, not at all.
No, nope.
those guys will tell you not to even buy their books.
Yeah.
I wish I was that successful where I could tell customers to go screw off. Like, not that I ever would, but like to not have that as a worry is just mind-boggling to me. Because that's never an industry. That should never be a mindset of an industry. But to just be at that point where you think that just telling off your customers is something that you don't have to worry about. I don't know.
No, I think we're all in agreement there. I'm going to switch from this one to your upcoming book.
Yeah, and I actually have some cool stuff to share with you guys because Michael Bancroft is awesome, and I love coming on his show. And every single time I get invited to come on a show, I try to bring something special. And so we have 3 main covers for this next book.
Yep.
And we revealed most of those, and we revealed Scott Rosema, who's doing one of our special cover. Like, we're gonna have a hardcover deluxe edition that'll collect the 0 issue and Pyramid Gambit. It's gonna have an extensive art gallery and a whole bunch of other stuff. But he did the cover for that one. But what he also did for us is he redesigned our logo, and so now I have. I'm going to show with you guys 2 of the main covers that we have on the next book. So give me a sec. Let me make sure that I have this right. I don't want to goof this up. Sorry.
Yeah, Shane, if I were to drive to the neighboring states, that's sort of like a 2-day thing. 3-day thing, and you just get to the border.
All right, so I'm sure. Let's see if it'll. All right, I'm sharing the first one right now.
Did you turn the sound on for this cover? Moving
on. Very, very nice.
I like that one.
But yeah, so this is our Dragon Guard variant. I was super fortunate to get in touch with Kevin Sharp, who is the creator, writer, and artist for the Dragon Guard.
Yep.
And I talked to him, and he really liked our project, and we did business, and he did the pencils and inks of this, and then he got me in touch with his colorist for the Dragon Guard, Alonso Espinoza, and oh boy, did they deliver. This thing is
Are you able to zoom in on that?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping that it'll let me do.
Yeah, there you
go. Will this be on a foily cover?
Unfortunately, no. So like this is a pure this is a perfect bound book.
Okay.
And as far as I know, they don't really offer the holofoils for those. I could be wrong. There might be somebody that does it, and if they do, that might be something I explore. But as I said, this is a 54-page book, and that's just that's just the story, And one of our stretch goals will be, if we hit 20K on the next book, I'm going to add another 10 pages. So potential of 64 pages of story, and then you've got the character gallery. And we're doing a dedication. I had mentioned earlier that, about the diplomacy game in my history class in high school. That teacher was a guy named Major Tynan, and he was very, very important person in my life and helped me kind of, I'd always loved history, but Major Tynan got me to realize the real importance of it. And he passed away a few months ago of COVID-19, and I found out about it last week. And when I had made a post, his sister saw it because I had tagged him, and she reached out to me to say thank you for my kind words. And I was like, I really would like to dedicate my next comic to Tynan. And so I showed her what I had written that I wanted to put in there, make sure that it was okay with her. And so this next book will be dedicated to Major Tynan. So there'll be a dedication in there. So like it's a big point is this is going to be a big book. And that's one of those things where the big universal complaint of the zero issue. So this thing's too short. I want more, which is not a bad complaint to be getting from people.
Can you actually bring your that cover up again? I just have a couple of questions.
Which one?
That cover that you just showed. Can you bring that one back up again?
Yes, I can. Give me a sec.
So in the zero issue, I mean, are you giving out spoilers about what happens to Achilles? I mean, I guess I don't know.
Like have I given any spoilers out in the zero issue?
Yeah.
There is some foreshadowing, but I wouldn't say that there is any.
No, I mean, I can say what happens to.
Cool. The book's out there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So he dies, and he goes. It's in Hades, I presume, and there's a massive Colosseum, and then there's people from historical figures and from legend and stories and all sorts of stuff, and they're fighting in the arena, and there's Gilgamesh is in there, isn't he?
Yes.
Yep.
Gilgamesh is the Gilgamesh and Enkidu are the ones that Theseus is fighting at the when Achilles comes in.
Right. So can you tell the people who here is on the cover here?
All right. So the people that are in here you've got Theseus, who we see in the zero issue. Mm-hmm. Achilles is here in the back, and then this is Heracles.
I don't think we can see a mouse. So
we can't.
Sorry. So
Theseus is the gray, Achilles is up top, and Heracles is closest to us in the brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So that's our team Hades.
Hey, what kind of reaction do you have if I say that's Hercules?
I mean I don't really like that's the Roman version of his name. So I went with Heracles. That's the authentic Greek.
Okay. I was kind of hoping you'd have the same, the same thing as if Mike put his avatar back up.
That's one of those things where it's like I don't really care about it because that is the Romanized version of his name, and that's what he's most known by in modern media. So like that's not a big deal to me. The trigger with Troy has a lot more to do with just being completely disingenuous.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just face it, you just can't handle Brad Pitt.
Of course,
Shane. It happens in the first 5 pages. All right, it's not a spoiler, and like you said, it's allowed. The book has been out now.
Yeah, the book's been out for so long at this point,
and it's an issue 0. It's an issue 0.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's one of those things where the issue 0 is, and is great to have, and I do recommend people try and get a hold of it if they can, but like. I even have like a kind of, for those who came in late page on the next book in case somebody didn't get a chance to read the 0 issue. And that's my whole thing. I want this to be accessible for anybody. I want people to kind of be able to jump in at any given point and not feel completely lost. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be parts where that's pretty hard to do. Mm-hmm. But it's something that I'm very dedicated to because I feel like, there was this time back in like the 90s and early 2000s where comics were this serialized thing where you didn't have to be up and up on every single storyline that was going on. You could just pick up a comic book and enjoy it. And while there is an overall narrative of Elysian Fields and everything, this is a battle book. You literally just pick it up to watch really cool people beat the shit out of one another. And so that's actually the main cover of this next book. And so I do have that to share with you guys as well.
I just snaked you. I just shared it myself.
Except you don't have the nice new logo on it, Michael.
Oh,
Oh,
snap!
Stuff that in your.
No, I just went through your Twitter feed. Like a
Yeah, no, I had been saving these for something special, and I figured, you know what, Michael Bancroft show is always a good bet.
New and improved.
And so there we go. Once again, we have Heracles is there in the center, Theseus is in the back left, and Achilles is right there front. And they're fighting some Anubites, which is going to be this issue is really fun. What I will say is I really understand what people say about like writing your second book is your most difficult, because it's where you really have to start establishing the rules of your universe and everything, and getting those out there and not feeling like forced exposition dumps is really tricky. Because you kind of want to just get the rules out there and get on to the really fun stuff of people beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this, this might be, if you imagine Street Fighter in Hades, but instead of all those characters, it's just, all your favorite.
Yeah, that's effectively what it is. Like that, Mortal Kombat. It's all that whole thing where every mythology around the world has their classical heroes that represent their cultures, and so those are the people that are fighting in this. And I'm trying very hard to make sure we stick with mythic figures, because the whole point is that these are people that it's ambiguous as to whether or not they existed. There are some cultures where I've kind of had to just be like, well, screw it. You see the Blades of Yama in Pyramid Gambit. You see them fight somebody, and they're effectively the Shinto they're from Japan, and so a lot of their stories are historical figures, but they're layered and veiled in so much legend where there's a lot of mystery to them. So that's why I picked so like you have Hanzo Hattori, Miyamoto Musashi, and Masamune, like those are the people you see in Blades of Yama. And these are people that like definitively existed. We have records of them, but like they are enigmatic characters in and of themselves, because there's not a lot we can verify outside of like legends and everything about them.
Perfect for putting into your own stories, really.
Yeah, exactly. And,
so I hope it's okay. I found these pages on your Twitter as well. I'm gonna
and these I had released as like a nice little preview. So what we have here is the lion guy. I think if you can actually zoom in on that, I do give captions as to who these people are. So that's Nergal, who's the Mesopotamian Lord of the Underworld. If you had missed any of my stuff talking about the Zero issue, the whole thing with this, and the tournament has a name now. It's the Abyssal Tournament of Champions. The whole point of the Abyssal Tournament is every single god of death or lord of the underworld from every single mythology has a team of their culture's heroes fighting one another, and the winning team, that respective god of the dead, becomes the new lord of the underworld. And this happens every 1,000 years. And so we have Nergal here. We have Nergal there in the corner of that top panel. And then we have Hades himself there, with his crazy hair.
A bit like Wolverine there.
A bit, yeah. And Marcelo's art in this book has just jumped like crazy. There's a panel I haven't made shareable yet, but it's one of my and and it's not even the whole page. The whole page is great, but there's a single panel on this page. I'm not sharing it yet. It's just one of those ones you're gonna have to fucking wait till you see the book. But there's this panel that he did that is just absolutely gorgeous. And there's a great example of like just how much Marcelo's art has improved going into this book. It's like, you know, in the first book, there's not a lot of actual like one of the reviews that was written was like there's not a lot of kinetic energy, but I feel like we have a lot of stuff like this where you're getting to actually show action in the book. Whereas in the first issue, there's a lot of like posing around in like epic stances and readying to fight. There's not a lot of direct action, I'd say, but that changes completely, especially at just the beginning, the first like 10 pages of this book is just filled with kinetic energy, filled with actual action. Again, going back to the whole zero issue setting the stage, and now we're here. Now you're here for the main event. This is the thing you've been waiting for.
And this is
Gilgamesh getting his shit stomped.
And in that zero issue, I mean, he's talking a pretty big game.
Yes, and Gilgamesh does have Achilles on the ropes for a little bit in this. Like, I don't want anybody who's a big fan of Gilgamesh, whether it be from like, you know, actually reading his epic, or if they're a fan of like the Fate anime series and they really like Gilgamesh as like a heel character and he's this overpowered badass in that series. I don't want anyone to think that I treated Gilgamesh with any disrespect here, because he does challenge Achilles, and Achilles even's like, this guy's more powerful and faster than anyone I've ever fought. He just kind of notices something while they're fighting and takes advantage of it. And that's how he series this.
I have Gilgamesh at the start of my second book as well. He makes a little appearance.
That's awesome.
It's not quite like this. It's my own interpretation of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't get his arm chopped off for one.
Hey man, we each got to do it. We got to do what we got to do.
That's right.
But yeah, this was such a cool thing to see come to life, and it's really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry, go on, Blue.
Oh, I'm glad to see you're going to have Hercules in there, because even before I could read properly, I was getting into looking at the Greek mythology and going, I want to know this story. What did this guy do? And I never went back in high school when I could actually read and found all of it, but he's the one who got me interested in mythology. And
Heracles is going to be a really fun. Like, I initially was having a lot of issues on how I was going to tackle Heracles. I knew that he was going to be that tank character. He's the guy that is going to have the most fun fighting. You're going to have a lot of fun watching him fight. But from like a character standpoint, like breaking this guy down in the same way that I'm going to be doing with Achilles or Theseus, it was a whole thing where I was having a lot of issues. And as I had said before, being able to break that initial graphic novel idea into two separate books did me a huge favor. And the biggest favor that it gave me is gave me perspective on how I want to handle Heracles in this book. And you get to see a lot more of the fun side of Heracles in Pyramid Gambit, but I have some really, really fun stuff planned with him to really push stuff in the follow-up as well. Like, as I said, when I've done a lot of interviews where I talked about I really want to deliver authenticity with these characters, and so I'm going to be delivering Heracles in every single way that I can, and really capitalize on things that I feel are core to his character that people just kind of, I don't want to say like forget, but just kind of toss under the rug because it's not as fun or epic, but it's so integral. as because it's the thing that puts him on his hero's journey in the stories. It's the tragedy of that character is something that I'm really looking forward to playing with.
Michael, I don't know if you're aware, but we are spreading the meme. It's a fight back meme that Comicsgate is a hat group.
Yeah, I saw.
Next time you come on this channel, I want to see you in a lion hat, just like that.
You
may, I don't know.
Michael, you send me the money to purchase a lion.
No, you're gonna have to go out and slay a lion. I won't accept anything else, and then you're gonna have to.
I don't got, dude. I am not traveling to freaking Africa and risking that, and I'm not going to the zoo because then I'll just get a lot of fines.
Well, I don't know. This lion has red eyes. Looks like it's some sort of demon lion. You might have to take
it
trip
is.
down into Hades yourself.
So that lion pelt is and once again, I wanted to go for authenticity as much as I could. One of the Heracles' big thing is the 12 labors, which were 12 impossible tasks that he was given as the price of redemption for murdering his wife and children. He was driven insane by the goddess Hera, who didn't like him because he was Zeus's kid, not by her. And so she would drive him insane from time to time as her own little petty war against Zeus. And so in one of these times, he went insane and he killed his wife and kid. And as an atonement, he was sent to go do these 12 labors. And one of the 12 labors was to take down the Nemean lion. And the big thing about the Nemean lion is that its hide and skin could not be pierced by any weapon. And so Heracles had to wrestle it and strangle it to death. And after he defeated the Nemean lion, he figured out a way to skin it and everything, and he used its pelt as armor. And so that's what you have there.
There's a kangaroo like that Mike's trying to make a hat out of.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, not around my house.
Heracles. It'll be a good time.
We're in lockdown now, so I can't go out. But maybe Rob Arnold could.
You have to beat here's the caveat with that, Michael. If you're going to be like Heracles, you have to beat the kangaroo in boxing. You can't just hunt it. You have to beat it at its own
do that. I could do that, I think. All right. I've
All right,
man. For you. I've done the work for you. I know you don't like to do the work. Here it is. You're putting it all on me. Here we go. 10% off your first order. There it is. Topless, not topless. That's up to you.
All right. Here's the deal. Here's the deal I'll make with you. That's it. That's what, $70. All right. This is what I will do. And as everyone here is my witness, in addition to the extra 10 pages that I will throw into the book, if we hit 20K, I will buy that ridiculous fucking thing and wear it on every live stream show that I'm on after we hit 20K. All right.
The people will hold you to your word.
I'll fucking do it.
Yeah, but you got to take like a pick and fluff up the mane a little bit.
Remember,
that's just flat.
That's fun. Like, as I said, I will be wearing it on every live stream show that I do for the remainder of Pyramid Gambit. I will wear that stupid hat.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Bandito wants you to do it topless. I'd say you choose. No input.
And you know what? I'll go topless too. I'll be topless, and you guys will see Harry.
Slow down. Go back.
We'll do it. I will be so ecstatic if we break 20K. I'd be through the roof, and that's where I want to be really.
Yeah.
And
that's what it takes. That's what it takes. I mean, the people want to see the hat group. What we can do. They want us to raise our hat game. Speaking of hat game, Poland, how are you going?
Good. I had to make sure I had a hat on tonight. Make sure I was in attire.
I know.
Fair enough.
I fouled that had to pull one out of the you've already seen, and I had to turn it sideways. Apparently, I look like a Smurf. I was going for what did you call it, Michael?
It's the horsehair crest on
Horsehair
the
crest.
the helmet.
Yeah. Sorry, we've got an amazing costume party shop, but everything's closed at the moment. You can go down and get anything you want for super cheap, and maybe even a lion head. I'll have to check that out when they reopen.
We'll just break into it until
you need to send me that link. You need to send me that link, Michael. I'm
right,
dead serious
right.
about that. I'm gonna put it on all of my social media stuff, even the Nine Realms publishing page.
Well, this one is in Australia, but you can at least share it around. Maybe I
But
might
like
have to
it,
get
like
it
I
for you
can
if you
buy
get
it
green
and have
card.
it shipped here.
I presume so. I'm going to put it in the private chat for you. There you go.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
How good would that be to see that?
I did want to say, so Ted Lehman did a comment on there, and so I had mentioned that we had like 3 main covers of the book, and we have 2 special covers. So one of those is the hardcover deluxe edition, which I'd already talked a little bit about. But the other one of those, that's a fantastic hat, sir. Nice.
Oh, thank you.
This hat is what we just call Monday for Joe. This is a normal Monday hat.
No Monday blues here.
But for hey, Comics with Drew. So the big thing with Ted is that Ted is doing a cover for us as well for our Support Our Troops perk. And so this is something that I did want to talk about because we had a Support Our Troops perk on the 0 issue, but it was added later in on the campaign, and so we didn't get a lot of people that picked it up. And the idea was that $10 from that perk got sent to a veterans aid organization when we found it. But we only had around like $50 or $60 worth of that, and so I haven't forgotten about it. We have that set aside, and we do have that organization. We're going to be donating to the Special Forces Charitable Trust, which not only does like really great things for the veterans, but their families, sets up like scholarships and everything like that for their kids, and a whole bunch of great programs. And so what we're going to be doing is we have our Support Our Troops perk, and Ted Lehman is really doing such a fantastic job with our cover, and we're going to be really revealing that here. I have a very special thing planned for that. And it's going to be colored by Farah Nurmaliza,
Nice.
who did Peregrine Wings of the Falcon. She's going to be coloring it.
She did everything.
She like that's it. Like I talked to her and she was like, "I'm not free till November," and I said, and I said that works. Like I'm down. And we got Demon Fells in the house. That's Demon Nation. He's actually now the Nine Realms marketing guy because all the help you can get.
Yep.
But so, anyways, as I said before, we're doing a Support Our Troops perk again, and $10 of every purchase of that tier will go to the Special Forces Charitable Trust, and then we also have a tier called the Whole Enchilada that'll have all the main covers of the book and the Support Our Troops tier. And again, $10 of that will go to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. And so that whatever we rack up on this campaign, plus the 50-60 that we made on the 0 issue, will all be put together in a lump charitable donation to them upon the completion of the Pyramid Gambit.
Nice. When are you planning on launching this book?
I believe the plan is September 22nd. And
wow, that's pretty close.
Yes, it's not far. We've got a good chunk of everything ready.
Yep.
Marcelo is already about halfway done with the interior on the book. He's been working hard and has just been pumping out great stuff. And we're so excited. We have a whole bunch of stuff planned. We have a bunch of stretch goals to hit, and we even have a few surprise ones for after we hit the 20K. And I won't say anything about it, what it is yet, but we have a very, very special thing happening if by some fucking miracle we hit 50K. So the big thing really is to just try and push this as far as we can, and it, like, you know, every single step forward we can do. I'm trying to really break through and make this not only just the best product possible, but make this a thing where I can do more of these books for you guys. And yeah.
Fantastic. There's determination. Giving back to our troops while keeping to a military-style variant, our way to salute those who stood proud in the ranks. Great stuff. I always like to see that.
Yeah, and we have a really cool cover that combines that like modern combat feel, but still makes it Elysian Fields. And I'm really excited to show you what Ted's been doing, because he sent me the pencils here yesterday. I'm not. As I said, we're saving this as a reveal for a special occasion.
Michael,
but man, it looks good.
On top, when you hit 20K, on top of getting your streaming lion hat, you also need to get a streaming chair that doesn't creak every time you move.
Yeah, I know. I'm really sorry. So
I had an exact same chair when I started streaming as well, and my wife was like, "You gotta change that chair. It's so annoying."
Well, it used to be that I was at my not to put out like personal info or anything, but I'm going through a separation and everything, and so I had you know my stuff. I had another place, and then the lease came up, and they weren't able to renew it. So
I down my joke, Michael.
I'm sorry.
Cox suggests system done.
So
you don't have to wait till you get 20K.
Anyways, yeah, if we hit 20K, we'll get a non-squeaky chair. We'll just leave it at that.
Let's leave it there. All right, we are going to round out the stream now. Guys, like you said, end of September is the what he's looking to launch the new book. That we've let plenty of people have been linking it here in the chat. So as I always say, it doesn't cost you anything to sign up to the mailing list. What's the perk that people can get if they sign up to the mailing list?
They get a free poster. They get a free pinup. Joe Tolliver, who's very talented, is doing a pinup for us. And that's the other thing. We have a lot of original art on the next campaign as well. So Joe Tolliver is doing a pinup, and if you sign up for the mailing list, that's free. Anybody who wants it out has to buy it.
Fantastic. All right. I also do want to mention something else. I should have probably had that set up, but you know me.
This is going to be another Brad
professional. No, it's not. No, it's something real that happened. So yesterday, I mentioned that I was one backer away from 560, and you lovely people out there came out in force, and we bumped up to 561. So I wanted to thank whoever it was that did that. That's just fantastic to see. And yeah, I mean, the fact that this thing is still going, it's just so amazing. And yeah, I can't be grateful enough. So I just wanted to mention.
It's a really good looking book, Michael. I'm very excited for Lucent. It looks great.
Thank you. Yeah, I was on Shay's stream, and we were talking about managing expectations, and she was saying, I have really insanely high expectations for your book. I was like, is this the expectation stream or the anxiety stream?
I'm really. I haven't heard from Shay. I don't know if she's read Elysian Fields yet. I'm really excited to get her feedback. We've had fairly positive response so far. I haven't heard anyone just come out and say, fuck your book. It was the worst thing I've ever read on the face of the planet. So Like we're
That's good.
we're doing
Hello, is this Michael? Yes. Hey, fuck your book.
Oh, I'm sure that I'm going to
Get
get
outta
like
here.
3 of those here in the next few days just to mess with me. At this point, I was like, you know what? I watched Michael Bancroft's stream, and that sounds like a perfect idea.
There you go. There you go. All right,
best
guys. We do
ideas
have
come
to
from this
end it
stream.
out here. Well, thanks for popping in, Poland. We always like to see you here, even if we didn't get to chat with you. As always, Blue and Joe, great to see you. But Michael, thanks so much for coming
be
on
seen.
and spending a little time talking with us about your book.
Thanks, man.
And yeah, we look forward to seeing you again when you go live.
And if we hit that 20K while the campaign's up, we'll schedule something. I'll like if once we get to like 18 or something, I will order the hat so that it's here for when we get to 20. Because like if once we hit 18, I'm fairly certain we'll be able to clear that jump to 20.
Excellent. And I will get that that metal lion helmet that guy has in Gladiator that you push down.
Oh
That-
yeah.
I love that helmet.
Actually,
No promises.
it's a tiger helmet. It's a tiger helmet.
Tiger. Sorry, it's been a while. All right, guys. We do have to end it here. Thanks so much, everyone. The chat, you've been phenomenal as always. As Bandito always likes to say, sexiest chat in Comicsgate. Thank you all so much for coming out and hanging with us today. It's been a blast. And I will see you tomorrow. Oh, Antoine is late. He just says it's going live on September 22nd, tentatively. I'm not going to make any promises, but there you go. End of September. All right, guys. See ya. Bye.